You see, the Christian, they say, the Quran is forged. It is copied from the Jews and the Christians.
I only have to find one thing in the Quran where it's taken from the Bible and it's been changed and it's wrong.
Okay. You wouldn't even have a Quran if there was no Bible.
Okay.
Neither the Bible nor Qur'an identifies the Pharaoh of Moses by name. We can use the details provided in the scriptures to try to identify the Pharaoh. Both scriptures speak of the Israelites being taken into slavery before the birth of Moses. The use of Semites for slave labour occurred only during the New Kingdom period. So, we can place Moses somewhere in the New Kingdom period. This gives us a list of 33 possible pharaohs. Both scriptures also speak of an exodus of the Israelites out of Egypt. The Meneptah stele is an important artifact that contains the first explicit reference to Israel in the archaeological record. It is dated to around 1208 BCE. It discusses the land of Canaan and mentions the Israelites in relation to Canaan, indicating that the Exodus had already taken place by this date. The artifact is contemporaneous to the pharaoh Meneptah. This means that the Exodus had to take place before Meneptah, since Meneptah was alive and in power after the Exodus and not drowned in the sea. This establishes an upper boundary in the timeline of the pharaohs. From the point of view of both the Bible and Qur'an, we are now left with 18 pharaohs as candidates who may have ruled during the time of Moses. Let's now delve deeper into the biblical narrative. The Bible claims that there were 2 different pharaohs who were in power. The first died while Moses was in hiding in Midian. When Pharaoh heard of this, he tried to kill Moses, but Moses fled from Pharaoh and went to live in Midian. During that long period, the king of Egypt died. The new Pharaoh continued his predecessor's persecution of the Israelites, and it was his second Pharaoh who was later drowned when Moses crossed the sea. The Bible gives us a timeline for these events. The burning bush encounter with God took place when Moses was 80 years old. So from his birth to the Exodus, there was a span of at least 80 years, during which 2 pharaohs ruled Egypt. Now, there is a big problem if we compare this biblical narrative to the timeline of the pharaohs. We've seen that the Bible claims exactly 2 pharaohs ruled during the 80-year period from the birth of Moses to the Exodus. If we consider the number of years that each of the pharaohs ruled, we can see that there is no 80-year period during which only 2 pharaohs ruled. Any given 80-year period will give you at least 3 pharaohs in power. We can see that the biblical narrative contradicts the historical evidence. Let's now compare the Quranic narrative. Unlike the Bible, the Qur'an depicts a single pharaoh reigning from the birth of Moses all the way up to the Exodus. The Qur'an informs us that Moses fled to Midian when he reached the age of maturity. The Qur'an defines the age of maturity as 40 years old. The Qur'an also informs us that during his time in Midian, Moses spent 8 to 10 years in the service of his father-in-law before returning to Egypt to face Pharaoh. This means that Moses was at least 48 years of age when the Exodus happened. The only Pharaoh during the New Kingdom period who had such a lengthy reign as an absolute ruler was Ramses II, who ruled for 66 years. The Quranic account is perfectly in line with the historical evidence and fixes the chronological issues that are present in the biblical narrative. Let's now compare the life and religion of Ramses II to the claims that the Qur'an makes about the Pharaoh of Moses.
وَإِنَّ فِرْعَوْنَ لَعَالٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَإِنَّهُ لَمِنَ الْمُسْرِفِينَ.
This claim that the Pharaoh of Moses was extravagant has been proven by archaeological discoveries, which show that Ramses II was the grandest of the pharaohs. The archaeologist Peter Clayton wrote, "His genuine building achievements are on a Herculean scale." The archaeologist Eric Uphill wrote, "The palace of Ramesses was probably the vastest and most costly royal residence ever erected by the hand of man. The Egyptologist Kenneth Kitchen wrote, "Certainly, in his building works for the gods, Ramses II surpassed not only the 18th dynasty, but every other period in Egyptian history. With regards to the religion of the Pharaoh of Moses, the Qur'an makes the following claim.
فحشر فنادى فقال أنا ربكم الأعلى.
The Qur'an states that the Pharaoh of Moses was arrogant, exalting himself to the position of God. Modern archaeological discoveries have proven this to be true. Ramses II built the great temple at Abu Simbel to honour himself. Its entrance is flanked by 4 colossal statues of Ramses II, which dwarf the statue of Ra-Horakhti, god of the horizon, located above it. This temple also contains an image of Ramses II making a sacrifice to his divine self.